Good evening, my fellow Americans. This is the 15th of May edition of A Quiet Rage. Let's just get right into it. Let's talk about this jet from Qatar. Because this is, well, briefly before we get into that, I am on the back end of a head cold, so hopefully that doesn't affect me in any way. And if there's any, missing sections of this video, it's probably because I had a coughing fit and edited that out. Qatari jet. This is one of just a stack of instances of situations that any member of the military, active duty, retired, what have you, should look at this situation and say, what the actual fuck does the president think he's doing? None of this is a good idea. But as we've seen with his first election and with his second election, there is there's no accounting for taste. There is a portion of the military that just thinks this guy is cool, and they're going to vote for him anyway. So let's get into it. To start with, let's all read together Article 1, Section 9, Clause 8 of the United States Constitution. The owner's manual. Clause 8 states, "No title of nobility shall be granted by the United States, and no person holding any office of profit or trust under them shall, without the consent of the Congress, accept of any present, emolument, office, or title of any kind whatever from any king, prince, or foreign state." Excuse me. Now, why do we have the emoluments clause? Well, because following that clause helps to avoid the presence or even the appearance of any sort of favoritism for or from any foreign state, king or prince or queen. And it does the same for any potential influence that the foreign entity might have on an office holder. This isn't just for the president, by the way. And recently there was a Democratic senator, I forget his, I forget his name. I'll get it to you in the edit. He was taking money from foreign governments, foreign entities, and did not register. I think one of the big things was he didn't register as a foreign agent. Anyway, he's been removed from the Senate, as he should have been, and there wasn't. Democrats saw that and said, "Hey, fella, get the fuck out of here, because what you're doing is wrong." And to the credit of some Republicans, including some people with whom it makes me a little itchy when I agree with them. People like Laura Loomer. Fuck. Agreeing with her makes me feel really weird. But this is not something that should be happening. In part because the agreement is supposed to be that this jet is temporarily used as an Air Force One replacement, and then when the president leaves office, our president, President Trump, when he leaves office, the jet will go to his presidential library. Is it just going to be an exhibit? Or is he going to use it I'm guessing he intends to use it. Excuse me. Now, there is other legislation that covers a situation of gifts. Now, it is traditional when, excuse me, when heads of state visit each other, as the president is currently doing. He's on a Middle East trip currently. It is customary for heads of state to exchange gifts, and generally, those gifts, at least in the case of the United States, every other country can do whatever the heck they want with what we give them, but in the United States, it is customary that the president accepts the gift on behalf of the people of the United States, the citizens of the United States. And those gifts are then handled and processed and maintained by the National Archives. They're cataloged, their value is assessed, and they become the property of the people of the United States. Presidents will often display these gifts in the White House, which is customary and totally fine. And a president is allowed, under the Foreign Gifts and Decorations Act, first passed in 1966 and amended in 1977, it is possible for a president to keep a gift that was given to them from a foreign head of state, provided that the gift does not exceed $480. Not sure where that number came from, but the value of the gift does not exceed $480. Or if it does exceed that, the president can reimburse the people of the United States for the value of that item and keep it. Is President Trump planning to pay for this jet? I'm guessing no, because he doesn't pay for anything. He doesn't pay people that work for him. You know, when he was a real estate developer. So, past performance, I would say, should be indicative of future results in this particular case, unless or until he ponies up the, $400 million? Something like that. I think that this thing is supposed to be valued at. And, by the way, the refit costs to make this thing what it would need to have in order to operate as Air Force One. But that brings up another point, and that is the point of national security. This is a Boeing jet, but it's been in the possession of the Qatari government, the Crown Prince, I guess, of Qatar. It belongs to the royal family, from what I understand. It belongs to Qatar. What is our intelligence sharing relationship with Qatar? I don't know off the top of my head, I'll be honest. But given that they're hosting leaders of Hamas right now in exile, given that they are a go-between that we use to communicate with Hamas so that we, the United States, the U.S. government, doesn't communicate directly with Hamas. We communicate with Qatar, and Qatar passes our message on. We play a game of telephone. It's it's whatever. It is what it is. It's the way we do business. Fine. But can we verify the chain of custody of that particular airplane from the moment it was commenced construction until we receive it, in theory, to start the refit to make it our new Air Force One? Can we do that? No. No, we can't. we would just have to take Qatar's word for it. I don't know about you, but I don't want to take the word of a foreign government that everything is kosher on that particular aircraft. I don't like the president. That should be no secret. But I don't want my president to be... I don't want his safety, or her. I don't want the safety of my president to be in the hands, potentially, of the last Qatari mechanic. And it's not just Qatar. It could be anybody. It could be any country. That should make everybody a little nervous. Air Force One is a jet that was in the possession of another country for its entire life up to this point, from what I understand. I mean, after it was built. It's, again, why anybody in the military isn't jumping up and down and screaming, no, this is not a good thing to do, is beyond me. Because it was about halfway through my time in the Navy that we finally, I don't know why it took so long, we finally made it Department of Defense policy that certain countries, and you can probably guess at least 2 or 3 of them, China, North Korea, not that we import a lot of stuff from North Korea, but also Russia, and there are some others, we can't buy any materials whatsoever. We couldn't buy steel from those countries at all. And we certainly wouldn't buy electronics from those countries for use in the military. Makes sense, right? Like, these countries would love to spy on us. There's a big multinational exercise, naval exercise, that takes place in Hawaii every other year on the even years. It's called Rim of the Pacific. And we invite many other countries. And one of those countries, I don't know why we invited them, but we did. One of those countries sent a delegation of vessels to Hawaii to participate in these war games. And the sailors from their ships were handing out, they were caught handing out USB thumb drives to U.S. sailors. Just, here you go, here's a gift from my country, from me, from whoever. And they had spyware on them. They had malware on them. The hope was that some dumb sailor would be like, oh, cool, and go plug it into a U.S. Navy laptop somewhere on a vessel, and then they could, I'm sure these things had some sort of transmit capability, whatever, or they could just, the malware, put it on the local area network on that vessel, and now you're screwed. We can't buy anything from countries like that for use in the military. My job currently, I'm a civilian now. I'm a government contractor, military contractor. Rules still apply to me. I cannot purchase from certain countries. We have to make every effort to buy American. There are some countries that are completely, you cannot buy from them at all. But we want to make Air Force One a jet that was in the possession of another country for several years? No, this is a bad idea. No. Another point I've been avoiding making, but I feel like I have to. I don't believe I've said anything like this so far on this channel. If you think I'm wrong, MAGA, go ahead and check me. Audit my channel. Watch every single episode in order and see if I've ever said anything like this. I bet you don't do it. Imagine the year is 2010, and President Barack Obama issues from his communications secretary a statement that he intends to take possession on behalf of the United States of a new Air Force One. And he intends to take possession of said aircraft from a country that is 65% Muslim. What if Obama did this? Fox News would be wall-to-wall coverage. They would be, it would be banner headlines. People on the right would lose their fucking minds. How do I know that? Because President Obama, without any cause whatsoever, without any evidence, was accused of, among other things, hanging a Muslim prayer rug in the White House. Do you remember that? The gold, I believe, I don't remember which room of the White House it was in. A big gold curtain, gorgeous. Applique, I don't know if it's applique. Gorgeous fabric, gorgeous gold fabric. And it had been there, by the way, during the Bush presidency. But the right, Fox News included, lost their ever-loving minds over this Muslim prayer rug that President Obama, the secret Muslim, had the gall, the unmitigated gall, to hang in the White House. I think it was in the East Room. I don't remember. Have you people, MAGA, have you people completely forgotten that? Or we're just ignoring the fact that this is a Muslim country that wants to... And I have nothing against Islam. I have nothing against Muslims. I'm just saying, if you yelled at one president, if you lit your fucking hair on fire over one president allegedly hanging a Muslim prayer rug in the White House, but you're okay with another president, your president, my president, you're okay with him accepting a jet to be Air Force One from a more majority Muslim country? Where's the... Make that make sense. There's no logic there. You are doing mental gymnastics if you think this is okay. Finally, don't let anybody try and compare this fucking jet to the Statue of Liberty. For a couple of reasons. Not the least of which that Congress authorized the president to take possession to accept the Statue of Liberty from France on behalf of the people of the United States. And obviously, Grover Cleveland didn't fly away, or he didn't take the Statue of Liberty in his suitcase when he left the White House. It's not even close to being the same thing. So laugh in the face of anyone, Laura Ingraham, that tries to tell you that this Qatari-owned jet, is no different than the Statue of Liberty. That is utter fucking nonsense. Don't accept it. It's nonsense. So, that's all I have for you this week. Trying to keep this one kind of short. I'm going to go out on a limb right now, and I'm going to tell you that my next episode, next Thursday, is going to be a live episode. I'll make another video announcing the time, because now that I think about it, I don't know what I haven't actually checked my schedule, but there shouldn't be anything going on Thursday. So I'll make another short video just as an announcement for my live episode, which will be next week, Thursday, probably 9 p.m. Eastern time, probably. again, watch this channel. Put your notifications on. Subscribe and do notifications so that you see when that happens. And join me for my live episode next week. This will be my second one. Hopefully it goes a little better than the first one did. Not that the first one was bad, but just there wasn't anybody watching because I didn't announce it. I just was like, hey, let's do this. Anyway, here it comes. As I said, that's all I got for you this week. If, like me, you understand that the United States, the President of the United States, accepting a temporary Air Force One from a country that is not the United States is a stupid idea for a number of reasons. At the very least, the 4 I mentioned, and there's many more, I'm sure. If you understand that that is a stupid thing, then keep your powder dry and keep your quiet rage. Good night, my fellow Americans.